to our video. I'm Zach, this is Dominic, this is Brandon, and we are 9 to 5 Tactical. Today we'll be talking about the 7-7-14 drill by Manzano Tactical.
Alright, so straight to the course of fire. The drill starts at 7 yards. You're going to fill 2 magazines up, one of them full up to 10 rounds, and the other one is 4 rounds. 10 rounds in one, 4 rounds in the other. Starts at 7 yards. You're going to shoot 5 rounds each A zone target, starting with the left side one, moving to the right one, reload, 2 in the head box and 2 in the next head box in 7 seconds or under.
What were you guys' initial thoughts, when you saw this drill and then you ran it?
Well, I saw people run it on Instagram on his channel, and I was like, holy shit, 10 rounds is super fast. I don't know if I can do that. So the A zones were actually really nice. They're pretty big. So.
The only real video I saw online would probably be the Teal Concealed channel when they ran it, and they were all getting 6 seconds like that. So actually going into this drill, I didn't think it would be too bad, because if you lay down the 10 rounds as fast as possible, you should save yourself a lot of time for the head shots and everything.
And reload.
Yeah, on paper, that's what I was thinking of,
Yeah, I thought it was really expensive. 14 rounds, that's a pretty high round count drill. And sometimes I mess up the course of fire. So
might be 15, 16.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty challenging drill. Yeah, I didn't hear about it till Brandon showed me here. So that was really difficult from the thought. I saw videos this is 7 seconds. It is a lot of time, but then it isn't. You run it, you're like, holy cow, it's actually not a lot of time to do it. You can make one small slip up, and then
One thing I want to note too is that for our channel, we're normal 9 to 5 workers like that. So what we do every day is we carry from inside the waistband appendix. This drill actually you can do from outside the waistband. We all ran it from inside the waistband appendix in our own way, stepping outside the waistband. But you can do that if you want to. After your first run, what was your thoughts after that? What do you think of the drill after your first run? Anything change or?
Well, I think after running it once, I was like, okay, this is a little bit more difficult than it looks. Maybe you showed some flaws where I'm lacking in certain skills on my firearms skills, but yeah, I'd say that's it really. I don't have much after one run.
After my first run, I was like, holy crap, I need to pick up the pace, because I think I got 9 seconds, because I wanted to get all my shot placements in. And then I was like, shit, I gotta speed it up. And then after a few more tries, I was like, okay, I just need to speed it up in this area. For reload, I need to speed it up. And then I was very dot focused when I first started the drill. So I would acquire my dot too long, and I'd hold it there without pressing the trigger, and I felt like that needs to cut down and slowed me down a little bit. So coming up, trigger prep, and then send out your 10 shots for your A zones. And then that reload, I kept messing up my reload. I'd either get too high on it, or I'd fumble it in the magazine. Well, so yeah, I think that's what initially happened. So I was like, shit, I gotta finish this. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go really fast, but it might be a little sloppy. So that's when you gotta break it down into your fundamentals.
Oh yeah, I'd like to add, it just reminded me now, how much my grip actually sucks. I thought my grip was pretty good, and I ran it, and you notice that your grip sometimes breaks, or probably get a little too fast, and you fire before your grip's well married. And then for me at least, I struggled on the first A zone, and then as time went on, my groupings got tighter because my hand wasn't married properly. I was trying to fix it as I went through the drill.
Before, I thought it wouldn't be too bad. I thought it'd be somewhere on the easier side of the drills that I've done in the past. I actually found it to be a lot more challenging than I was expecting.
Well, your first run, you came out, you were 10 shots, gotta go instantly, as fast as I can, 10 shots, and then that reload happened.
Your shots going the right side.
I didn't see my dots. We'll go on to the part about the time management thing, right?
So what did you notice?
Kind of talked about it a little earlier, but how it's laid out is there's obviously 2 big A zone targets right here. My thought process for time management was get these 5 and then 5 out as soon as possible. So as soon as the draw came in, it would be somewhere around that 1 to 1.2 second draw first shot, and then get all these out in I believe it was around 3 seconds or less was my plan. So 5, 5, and also the transition here, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't gonna pause in my firing sequence, right? So it's gonna be like boom, 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 immediate transition, boom, 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 without having to pause in between, because obviously the transition between here is so small. So my plan was go boom, 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 immediately go for the reload, give me as much time as possible for that, because I know the hard part was going to be hit these headshots at 7 yards. And to me personally, that deemed true. I thought that the hard part for me was getting these headshots to connect. Because also after reload, you have to reacquire sights and everything, and then transition to 2 was just difficult for me.
Yep.
I feel like that's where my time management plan was. It was still just more difficult than I was expecting in 7 seconds or less.
What I noticed was coming out of the back was my draw speed for appendix. Coming out, I wanted to be under 1.5 seconds. Most of the time it was like 1.7, 1.8 for my first shot, and then try to pick up the pace after that, because I was racing time the whole drill. I felt like I was either going too fast and not hitting my shots, or too slow and still not hitting my shots. So the reload was definitely a little bit changed for me. Not used to reloading after 10 rounds of fire as fast as I can. So when you're shooting that fast, you definitely lose count in your head for a little bit sometimes. So after 10 rounds, you'd be like, oh, I'm out, I gotta reload, and then it adds more time. So you definitely have to count your rounds when you're shooting. And then what Brandon said was you have 2 A zones. It was hard to go from one A zone to the next while riding the recoil up. So you'd go boom, boom, ride the recoil, boom, boom, instead of shooting and then moving straight over to the right. So I thought that was beneficial, and it cut down a little bit more time. And then it was nice to get all your shots out for your 10 shots, so you have that reload. And then the faster you are with your 10 shots, the more time you had for your 2 head boxes, which was really nice.
For me, I guess my struggles aren't the same, but like, I know I'm like not the fastest shooter, so like my splits, they're kind of a little bit slower, so like getting the gun out as fast as I could is probably like where I would save some time. And then also my reloads were pretty quick, I would say. I was able to get my reload like, was it like 2.2 to 2.5 average. 2.2 probably my best, and getting the shot out onto the head box. For the head box, surprisingly, I was able to like, I don't really have a big issue of slapping the trigger that bad. So like on the head boxes, I was able to like get those like 70% most of the time. But for the A zone, where I struggled there, I think I mentioned it before, was like getting my hand married. So then the A zone I was a little bit slower on. So, but reload and head boxes, I was able to save some time getting those out. That's where I was able to find most of my time management. Also kind of learned that if you can get in the A zone about 3.5 seconds. 3.5 seconds or less, you were probably going to be pretty good or set for the reload, and then 2 in each head box.
Yeah, if you think about it, 3.5 seconds and then reload to the first shot, that would be 2.5 seconds, let's say, for reload. You're at that, let's see, you got 6 seconds right there. You have one whole second to shoot 3 extra shots, including 1 transition, right?
Yep.
And it's each head box. So, I mean, it's a good spot, but the faster you do it, the better, you know?
Right.
So I think it's mine around 3 seconds, right? And then shaving the extra half second towards the head boxes.
Yep.
Yeah, obviously the head boxes, like, those are harder, smaller targets, so like you kind of want to, like Brand's philosophy of saving as much time and having extra time for the head boxes, allowing for you to, you know, spend a little bit more time getting an accurate shot. Or like, for the most part, I think you guys were trusting your grip mostly, right? Like even on the head box, like you just like double tap onto the head box, trusting your grip. Like watching the dot just like go up and down.
Right.
Did you guys wait for the dot to settle?
I didn't wait for it to settle.
No.
I was able to watch the dot come back down and bounce right back up after a shot.
Mhm.
So then, because the reason why, because if you wait for that dot to settle, a lot of times it will be around like a 0.4 split, right? And you do that 3 times, that's already 1.2 seconds.
Yep.
So going back to what we talked about before for art, it also includes transition, right? So I mean, let's say it'd be 1.5 seconds on top of the whole thing, because of the last 3 shots take 1.5 seconds.
Mhm.
If you don't beat that 3.5 threshold for the first 10 shots, or your reload is bad, you're already taking like your time there.
Yep.
Like as soon as that dot came back down, press it again,
Mhm.
then move to the transition. Same as I said before, ride the recoil over to the next head box and run it again.
Yeah.
I actually thought that I thought time was gonna be a little easier. I thought it was more lenient until I ran it, and I was like, okay, it's actually you kind of use them all the time.
Yeah.
More than we thought we would.
Yeah.
So unless you're really burning down those first 10 shots,
Mhm.
then I think you're gonna struggle a little bit with the head boxes.
Yeah.
You don't give yourself more time somewhere else.
Yeah. We ran it inside the waistband, so running outside the waistband would help a little bit because you're clearing garment. So,
Right, for the reload especially, try and get that extra.
Yeah.
I think we
There's
messed up quite a few times actually.
I messed up. I'd grab my whole shirt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit.
So, and I've only been on with my current rig. I've only been running it for like a month before this, and I actually only was shooting it for like a week before that, right?
Yep.
So
And you holster.
yeah, so going for that reload for this mag for the platform I'm using, it was pretty difficult. So my reloads were like 2.8 a lot of times, and yours was like 2.25. So you literally shave a whole half a second from me just in your reloads.
Mhm.
So
Like your reloads were like how low like you had to grab just to grab your mag. Like your mag is so seated below their concealability.
yeah,
It's
for my
like
setup.
Mhm.
it's insane. Like compared to mine, like it is like way like it's like at least like I actually have
Up to
like
2 more inches.
no, that's only like a whole like 3 or 4 inches. Honestly, your mag sits like
Average.
flush to
think-
the belt line. I don't know if you want to show it off. Like
I definitely
Yeah.
go more for concealment than anything.
Dominic, after a few tries, what do you think this drill called for in skill level wise?
I think it's like a mix of things. Like like you have speed. Like obviously you draw the gun very fast. Your grip for the A zone. Like if your grips sucks, you'll start to see your I mean, your hands might slip, or like your 10 shots on the A zones are just gonna be like everywhere, or not the target. The target would be safe. And then also like throttle control, because when you switch to the head box, you're probably not going full like speed like you were on the A zone size torso A zone size targets. Because the A zone is like a 3x5, I think, right? 3x5.
Think you want the head box or the?
Yeah, A zone head box.
Okay, yeah, 3x.
Yeah, A zone head
I
box.
believe.
Yeah, so you'll end up like slowing down for those. So throttle control, grip, which kind of falls into the line of structure, and then your reload. If you are not comfortable with your weapon manipulations and you try to go for a reload, you'll find yourself fumbling. I know I fumbled quite a few times, but I think that's what this drill needs at least.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. What I found, Dominic hit all the points that I was going to cover. I want to talk about trigger prep, and I definitely caught myself slapping the trigger so many times, and it dropped my rounds really low. I just wanted to get my shots out as fast as possible, and it went in one ear, out the other for trigger prep. So coming out, wasn't resetting the trigger properly. That definitely slowed down my splits, and then it dropped all my shots low. So I noticed that trigger manipulation was a really big thing. I was running the drill.
Yeah, I'd say to add on to that, like after the reload, reassessing your grip, because obviously you have to break grip, reload, then press out again. Like that's one thing like I sometimes struggle with, like just like making sure your hand was back where you had it when you first started, and then going for that headshot. And sometimes I would struggle with that, and you can clearly see where my shots drop.
The only thing I'd say I'm missing, that my biggest problem part of this whole drill was probably vision. For me, it was the first target was always my easiest, because obviously like at that you get time to prep, you're ready for the drill, and as soon as that beep goes off, you already dialed in. But as far as vision-wise, I can just tunnel vision on that left target. But as soon as like I start shooting, my vision would also just break, and instead of aiming small, hitting small, moving on to the next target, I would tend to like actually open up a little bit with my groupings, especially on that right target for the A zone. Same with the head boxes as well. After the reload, going from your mag well straight back to the target, I didn't aim small, hit small. A lot of times, it was my first shot would be way off, and then I dial back in, and the second shot be in.
Yeah.
But obviously, with this drill, one round out, you're done, right?
Yep.
So
I'd say that's probably one of the most infuriating things. You can get everything right except that one round. It's like 14 rounds is invalidated immediately.
yeah,
Very expensive.
Humbling.
Very,
Very
so
humbling.
expensive.
very challenging drill and very demanding drill because staying focused. We're not used to high round count drills like that. So
No.
pushing 14 rounds out like that, running different things, was definitely a challenge for us, and I had a lot of fun with it.
I loved it.
That was pretty
It was
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, it was still fun.
Yeah,
Even though we
drill.
struggled.
Yeah, it's great. That's the whole point of it, though. Great drill.
Yeah. It helps really show your flaws, though. That's for one thing. It really shows what you need to work on.
Yeah.
So, like, but for me, like, what I found I need to work on is, like, marrying the gun. Because, like my first A-zone box, it would be like, the group would be pretty open. And then you would see on my next A-zone torso, it'd be a lot tighter. There should be no reason for that. Like, your grip should be like set as soon as you have the gun and presented. There should be you shouldn't have to adjust. I mean, if you do adjust, but you know, you're not gonna get it perfect every time, but you should try to at least get it right from the get-go. So you guys are probably wondering like who passed, you know? That's a real question. So I did not pass. It was a little bit outside of my skill sets.
Still love you.
Oh, thanks. But yeah, it's a little disappointing I didn't pass. You know, I came close though. I think my best run was like 7 seconds dead and like 12 out of 14 shots, I think. And then I got accepted. You know, my skills aren't there yet, but I will come back and reattempt to redeem myself and get past this drill and get that patch. Yeah, I'm also running the QVO Wingman holster, rocking the Springfield Hellcat Pro.
Well, Zach and I both passed. We both got our patches in already as well.
We'll share one.
Yeah.
Just
You
kidding.
don't have your patch?
It's in the bag. But I got one.
We both got our patches in already. Manzano was very responsive and everything.
Oh god, he's fast.
So, got 7 seconds flat on mine, which with the bad reload, I think I looked at my reload, it was like a 299, I think. So I already wasted half the drill on my reload alone. But I mean, I'm still working on this new platform that I've been running, which reminds me, I ran mine in a Staccato P done up by Manzano Tactical in a Tier 1 concealed MSP holster.
I ran mine in a 699. I was 0.01 from the max time limit, so I got all 14 shots in 699. Had a bad reload, like Brandon did. I think my reload was a 280 something for a reload. So it was my last attempt for the day actually. So I'm happy that we were like they wanted to go, and I was like, I got one more. I got one more try, and then passed it. So I'm running the QVO holster with the X Macro Wingman. Thanks for watching the video. This is 9 to 5 Tactical. Please like and subscribe, and catch you later.